this full moon in Cancer is speaking to the energy of an ancient future. And what I mean with that is that we are in the process of reclaiming ancient wisdom, connecting back with the way the ancients were connecting with the cosmos and were in natural harmony with the cosmos for a long time, where there were no technological advancements, just the cosmos and Earth. We are connecting back with this ancient wisdom, but that is not enough. At this time, we're adding on to this ancient wisdom. And that's why I call it the ancient future, because there is another component to what we're experiencing now. We are evolving into an era of technology, and this ancient wisdom is on its way to be combined with future wisdom, future technology that is not necessarily in the terms of technology as we know it today, but actually biological technology. And that leads us to the technology of the body. Welcome to New Light Living Podcast. I'm Ulrika Sullivan. I'm an intuitive spiritual life coach and a galactic astrologer. This video is a galactic astrology reading of the Cancer full moon at 24 degrees on January 13th, 2025. Welcome. What I do in these videos, I put an outer layer of fixed stars, celestial bodies, and galactic points to the traditional Western tropical astrology wheel. And that is to help us connect deeper with our multidimensional self beyond our own solar system that we may learn about in traditional astrology. This expanded perspective gives us a glimpse into our soul's journey and who we truly are. Our soul's journey is vast, with many experiences beyond this life. Are you curious about your own galactic alignments? Download my Galactic Alignments reference guide. There's a link in the description box below. What you'll receive in this video are 3 galactic energetic themes that I've pulled out from the full moon chart. And also at the end, you'll get 3 questions should you want to integrate this full moon in Cancer energy some more. This full moon is in conjunction with Mars in retrograde and also the fixed star Canis Minor-Procyon. This is a very powerful reminder that we're going to talk about later in this video about how our human evolution is underway and we are moving towards an expression of the future human. The ruler of this full moon is the moon itself. So it's an extra highlight of the importance of the moon placement at 24 degrees of Cancer. The moon is in the 3rd decan, which is related to the spiritual realm. And the 3rd decan of Cancer is ruled by Neptune. And as we know, Neptune is now in the very last degrees of Pisces, preparing to walk the bridge over to New Earth in Eris. We are now in a transitional phase, and 2025 in many ways is a transitional year for incredibly important years to come, because before we are in complete connection with the cosmos, pretty much the way the ancients were connected to the cosmos way back, we are in the process of shedding old belief systems and ways of living that is not serving our purest self. So we are still in 2025 working to purify our connection to the cosmos. And maybe even this is the first time you're coming across a video like this to starting to consider yourself and your soul as a bigger entity than just you here on Earth. And this is the process that we're going through now to be able to welcome in a greater perspective from a technological perspective as well. And it very much involves how we are connecting to our own body's wisdom. And ultimately, it's how our DNA is evolving into being connected to a bigger perspective and allowing us to see ourselves as a multidimensional being. So many of us are in the process of reclaiming our inner spark, our inner child, the purest parts of ourselves that are of pure life force, so that we can be in constant contact with the universe and the cosmos. We are in the process of connecting back with our heart energy, our intuition, and somewhat bypassing the mind's constructs, the logical part of us that not necessarily are coming up with scenarios that are the best for us, but our purest parts of ourselves are in connection with the universal energies. And that is very much how the ancients were living their lives way back when. And with Mars and Pluto in opposition here in loose conjunction with this full moon, we have a signature of permanent transformation activated by Mars in retrograde here. And this lineup of energy is setting a marker for what's to come. And a large portion of the influence here is provided at this full moon by Canis Minor-Procyon. And we're gonna talk more about Canis Minor-Procyon in energetic theme 1 coming up. This transition to the future human, we are in the process of getting back to valuing how we are in balance, how we are in harmony between the spirit universal world and the earthly world. And our body is the vessel that connects the two. And this is also highlighted prominently by Hygeia at this full moon. We're going to talk more about Hygeia and her influence at this full moon in theme 2 coming up. This is a transition that we are doing physically. The body is a cosmic vessel, and we are also understanding more and more about the body's role in communication. And this is where spiritual technology comes in. This is the merge between science and spirituality. And we are in the process of understanding much more about that than what perhaps the ancients back then did. Perhaps we are taking it further than what the ancients did back in the day when there was such a natural connection between the universe and Earth through the body of the human body at the time. But we're taking it further. We're now taking this into the next level where we have a consciousness that is ready to understand and be able to describe what is actually taking place. We as future human is a natural multidimensional being that is also a universal cosmic traveler. So it's an exciting evolution that we have in front of us. And it's hard to imagine how our perspective of who we truly are is going to evolve the next decade or more. The most difficult passage that we have and that we're in the process of now is to shed old belief systems, ways of living that is not serving this multidimensional way of seeing things. It's not just us evolving, it's the cosmos, it's the earth, all at the same time. So this Mars Pluto opposition is not just affecting us as individuals, it's affecting the entire universe, including Earth and other celestial bodies and planets and energetic influences that we are in harmony with. So we are very much back to basics. This year, we're very much going through this passage of shredding and shaking up things to be able to let them go so that we can step further and further into this passage of becoming the future human. This multidimensional way of viewing things includes the universe. It includes our planet Earth, but also other planets outside our solar system and within our solar system, of course. So, how we view ourselves are going to evolve very much so with support of how we are applying spiritual technology. This full moon is very much a highlight of this process of into becoming a multidimensional being, the future human. Before we go into the full moon chart, I'd like to share what the galactic energy themes are. The first theme is the future human. And here we're going to talk about Pegasus-Scheat and also Canis Minor-Procyon. The second theme is holistic healing highlight. And here we're going to talk about Bootes-Arcturus and also asteroid Hygeia and her conjunction with dwarf planet Eris. The third theme is universal energy transmission. And here we're going to talk about Perseus-Capulus. All right, let's take a look at the full moon chart. So here we have the full moon chart. And as you can see, the moon and the sun are opposite each other in a full moon at 24 degrees exact. And here we have also, as you can see, I've highlighted Mars there at 27 degrees of Cancer in retrograde. This is I would say, a loose conjunction, but I would consider this as a conjunction because of Mars's retrograde position here. So the full moon here is conjunct Canis Minor-Procyon at 26 degrees of Cancer. The full moon is making a beautiful trine to BetaCentarui Hadar there at 24 degrees of Scorpio. So that's a powerful water trine connecting Canis Minor-Procyon and BetaCentarui Hadar. BetaCentarui Hadar is associated with unconditional love. This water trine in the third decan here is a beautiful infusion of love through this sometimes transformational energy that this Mars-Pluto opposition is providing at this time. But we also have a square from the full moon to Bootes-Arcturus at 24 degrees of Libra. And this represents the growth opportunity we have as a collective, because Arcturus is very much an energy that's into our collective consciousness and collective evolution. I also want to highlight the ruler of the third decan where the full moon is, which is Neptune. And Neptune is in close contact, getting closer and closer contact with the North Node here. The North Node is now at 29 degrees of Pisces, and the nodes were shifting signs on January 12th. The day before this full moon, these last degrees of Cancer are now getting emphasized even more, and how influential this alignment, Neptune and the North Node, is. The North Node is now conjunct Pegasus-Scheat, the fixed star that is associated with an energy of liberation. The North Node is opposite the South Node here, also connecting into the supergalactic center at 2 degrees of Libra. This is a multidimensional cosmic influence at this time that is influencing our direction, the North Node, but also our past. So this connection with the past, ancient wisdom, and the future human is emphasized with the nodal axis, but also the ruler of the third decan where the full moon is. So the focal point between now and March is Neptune's ingress to Eris here. We're going to talk a lot more about Neptune's progression here and the conjunction with the North Node. So this is really also where we are going to feel the direction of that liberation energy coming more and more in focus for us here. So this energy signature of this full moon in Cancer is very much highlighting not only the ancient past, where we came from, but also the future, our ancient future. This full moon in Cancer is very intuitive, very evolved, and giving us the direction forward by the North Node's conjunction with Neptune here. We're going to feel this conjunction at the very end of the zodiac. This is showing us the future, humans, direction. This full moon in Cancer is highlighting the importance of that transformation. This is a highly influential time, and Canis Minor-Procyon is a significant influence that give us some clues about the future. All right, let's take this further in now into the first theme that I've called the future human. So here we have the first theme that I've called the future human. It is really a new era that we're stepping into. And we're going to start with mentioning the North Node and South Node's shift into Virgo and Pisces, respectively, from Aries and Libra. And North Node is now at 29 degrees of Pisces, and the South Node is at 29 degrees of Virgo. This is a culmination point that is a highlight and worth paying attention to. And also, Neptune's conjunction with the North Node is getting closer and closer, but it's going to be in technical effect between now and about end of March. The nodes were shifting on January 12th, the day before this full moon. The North Node is now conjunct Pegasus-Scheat. Pegasus-Scheat is the fixed star that is associated with an energy of liberation. And now we are putting our foundation in for the year of 2025, but also for year to come when it comes to very strong sense of liberation and shredding those belief systems, if you will, that is part of this ancient future that we're moving towards. Neptune is very influential, being the ruler of the third decan of Cancer. The ruler of this full moon is the moon itself. And there's a beautiful trine formation here between Moon and Mars and Neptune and North Node. The last time Neptune and North Node was in conjunction was 19 years ago, around 2006, 2007. So it might be interesting to think back in terms of what you did, were involved in, or the goals or intentions you had back then, because this conjunction now coming around in 2025 is the next evolution on your path forward from 2006, 2007. The full moon and Mars in retrograde here, conjunction with the fixed star Procyon, is a significant message for us at this full moon. We're going to talk more about Procyon in a second, but I want to highlight this beautiful water grand trine in the third decan that is formed here with Beta-Centauri Hadar at 24 degrees of Scorpio. This is a highly spiritual energy that is taking us into that future. It's taking us to the next level, and it's showing us elements of that future human state that we are on our way to. This process of transition has been in effect for quite a while. But if we look at it through the lens of Mars-Pluto opposition, we had first Mars direct opposite Pluto back in November 3rd, 2024 at 29 degrees. And then we had Mars in retrograde exactly opposite Pluto on January 3rd, 2025 at 1 degree. And then if we look ahead, we have Mars direct opposite Pluto in Aquarius on April 27, 2025 at 3 degrees. So this is a process of back and forth with Mars and Pluto emphasizing this evolutionary shift. So here it might be good to talk a little more about Canis Minor-Procyon. Canis Minor-Procyon at 26 degrees of Cancer. So if you have personal planets around 26 degrees of Cancer or 26 degrees of Capricorn, you may feel this full moon a little bit extra. Canis Minor-Procyon is reminding us that we are a vessel for spiritual technology, and primarily our wisdom of our body is so much more vast than our logic, our brain. And we are in the process of connecting with our body's wisdom, and it happens through our heart frequency many times and many other ways too. But it's a fundamental paradigm shift that we're in, where we are, I wouldn't say decommissioning the mind, but we're learning how to use the mind focus in a different way. It's a significant paradigm shift that will open us up to a completely expanded view of ourselves and our soul's journey. And here I have included an image of Canis Minor-Procyon for you to tune into. Canis Minor-Procyon is associated with the blue ray, and the blue ray is often connected to the sixth dimension, highly advanced energy that is very guiding, that is very cutting edge. So if you have alignment to Canis Minor-Procyon in your galactic chart, your soul journey may be part of bringing something completely new from a spiritual technology perspective and how to apply that into this world at this time. So, the future human, yes, it is a new era that we're in the process of stepping into. The future human is so much more connected to cosmic energies, to our environment here on Earth, and harmony that is linking the two in terms of universal energy. So, at this time, at this full moon in Cancer, we're continuing to shed a lot of lower energy. And often that lower energy comes from perspectives or beliefs or values that are no longer serve us. So this is a long-term process, of course, to go through for each individual. But at this full moon in Cancer, we are getting the glimpses of this future human energy signature, and it's energy of liberation. We need to liberate ourselves to be able to make room for the understanding, the new consciousness, the new perspective that we're inviting as part of the new Earth era. So, in what ways are you becoming the future human? What have you noticed about yourself shifting over the past couple of years? But also, it's going to accelerate and become more evident now in 2025 and beyond. And you will notice likely, wow, I have changed so much, right? And it's important to have that continuous contemplation about how can I, as an individual, come into more harmony with myself, with my environment, and how am I evolving? In 2025, Pegasus-Scheat at 29 degrees of Pisces is going to play a significant role, significant influence on us. And right now, the North Node and Neptune are right there. So it's a signature mark for us. Pay attention here, because this is historical energies that are soon going to shift as Neptune moves into Aries in the March timeframe. And more exact, Neptune is moving into Aries on March 30th. And we'll talk much more about this as we go along. All right, let's take a look at the theme number 2, which I called Holistic Healing Highlight. So here we have galactic theme number 2, Holistic Healing Highlight. And here, if you recall, I mentioned this square to Bootes-Arcturus at 24 degrees of Libra of the full moon. And this is an important alignment because opposite of Bootes-Arcturus currently is Hygeia conjunct Eris at 24 degrees of Aries, as you can see there. Hygeia is an asteroid, Eris is a dwarf planet. And the combination of Hygeia and Eris together is a powerful one. And as you can see here too, I included Chiron at 19 degrees of Aries there, now direct. It is also in close proximity, but not conjunct yet. Chiron will be conjunct Eris between May 27th, 2025, all the way to March 19th, 2026. So that is a highlight of a certain kind that we're going to talk about here. But at this full moon, Hygeia conjunct Eris is highlighting the need for us to step into a broader view on our healing overall. And we'll talk more about this in a minute here. So what this forms is a grand cross with the sun and moon opposite each other. Bootes-Arcturus there at the bottom, and Hygeia conjunct Eris at 24 of Aries. Chiron is currently conjunct Ceres constellation and the fixed star Tau Ceti at 18 degrees of Aries. And Chiron's alignment with Tau Ceti here is one of supportive energy, diplomatic energy, but also the integration of science and spirituality together. So Chiron's alignment here with Tau Ceti is pulling out the need for a bigger perspective when it comes to holistic healing. And come May, when Chiron is conjunct Eris, it's going to bring it into the next level. Eris is the higher expression of Pluto. And with Hygeia there now, it is a focus on bringing our way of healing into a more holistic perspective. And I want to show you Hygeia here. Hygeia is associated with health, particularly from a body perspective, body healing, but also her symbol is the snake. I don't know if you can see there, she's holding a cup with a snake inside. And we have just entered the year of the wood snake in the Chinese year calendar. So isn't that interesting that right out the gate here in the year of the wood snake, Hygeia with a symbol of a snake is highlighted at this full moon. Eris is the dwarf planet that is the higher expression of Pluto. And she is reminding us now that we are the one that needs to take responsibility from a unapologetic perspective for our health, for our well-being. And there's nobody else than ourselves that can be responsible for that. So first, I want to point out the asteroid belt where Hygeia is orbiting between Mars and Jupiter. So Hygeia is significantly closer to Earth in its orbit than, for example, Eris. Eris is part of the Kuiper belt way out there. Hygeia is bringing it down to more of a practical energy. Hygeia is associated with health, holistic healing, from a practical perspective, from the perspective of the body. And Eris is out there in the Kuiper belt. She is the higher expression of Pluto and is associated with diversity consciousness. And diversity consciousness in this context is very much a all-encompassing energy that is not separating one view from another or one individual from the whole. So Eris in conjunction with Hygeia here is a very evolutionary energy from a very practical perspective. So here we have a powerful grand cross in the third decan of respective sign here. Bootes-Arcturus of opposite Hygeia and Eris there is the need for harmonizing our collective views on health and well-being. And this full moon in Cancer is clearly highlighting that by being part of this grand cross energy. Yes, this is a very guiding energy for the collective to continue to open up to more holistic energy, holistic ways of looking at healing that includes self-healing, whatever that means for you. It is also a strong signature of between now and May, we may see also the questions coming up around how we bring science and spirituality together to a bigger, more broader perspective and how that is applied to healing overall. This is also part of the future human evolution, to allow a bigger perspective on what healing actually is, the co-creation of healing that comes from within, the co-creation with ourselves. Hygeia conjunct Eris here in a grand cross with the full moon and supported by Bootes-Arcturus collective evolutionary energy. It's a significant point made here at the full moon around holistic healing. So again, this point of 24 degrees in the respective signs are highlighted. So if you have personal planets or angles in the realm of 24 degrees, give or take 1 or 2 degrees here, you may feel that you are drawn to holistic healing, for example, or that you are awakening gifts and talents in this field. We may see some further developments here in the medical field being inclusive of holistic healing alternatives and the inclusion of spiritual technology and what's considered healing as we move forward, stepping into the future human perspective. All right, let's take a look at the third energetic theme that I've called universal energy transmission. So here we have the third theme that I called universal energy transmission. And we start off with the water grand trine that I showed you in theme 1 here. So this one you're familiar with, between activating energy between Canis Minor-Procyon, Pegasus-Scheat, and BetaCentarui Hadar, liberation, spiritual technology, and unconditional love simply. Now, what we have here in this theme that I want to highlight is also the connection to Uranus. So Uranus is still in retrograde here in Taurus, now at 23 degrees of Taurus, conjunct Perseus-Capulus. And this degree is going to be super important in 2025. And we've heard about the Perseus constellation before, but maybe not so much the fixed star Capulus. I'm going to talk about Capulus specifically in a second here. So I wanted to highlight the degree of 23 here, 23 of Taurus, but also you can consider the opposition 24 degrees of Scorpio, where BetaCentauri is. This is an opposition that is going to be highly activated over long time, especially the first quarter of 2025. Uranus is going to be activating and sitting at 23 degrees for almost 4 months in 2025. And so this alignment with Perseus-Capulus is a significant cosmic energy signature and a highlight that is we cannot miss. Uranus is going to go direct on January 30th, 2025. So around that time, it will be important to look for external embodiment of this influence here. And as you can see, this is also a kite formation. So Uranus is leading our embodiment activities here to anchor this cosmic evolutionary direction, taking the direction from North Node and the spiritual technology that's infused through the full moon here and backed up by unconditional love. It is Perseus-Capulus that is leading the way forward and infusing energy through Uranus here. And we're going to take a look at that energy signature next. So here we have the Perseus constellation, and I've highlighted Perseus-Capulus here. You may be familiar with Algol that you can see below Capulus here, that we have talked about a lot in 2024. But in 2025, Uranus is going to be conjunct Perseus-Capulus between December 19th, 2024 to all the way to March 19th, 2025. And what does this mean? Perseus-Capulus is on the star map here, and I also pulled in a image of Perseus himself there. Capulus is that raised arm and almost up at the wrist of Perseus. He is ready here to make a chop of Medusa's head. So it is representing this focus the mental focus that is required for a precision activity. The raised arm and all the way up to the wrist there in the hand is representing the readiness and also the mental focus that it takes to aim for something. So Perseus-Capulus is a very focused energy, a mentally focused energy. And Perseus-Capulus is going to highlight for us over the course of 4 months on what we are mentally focusing on. Perseus-Capulus is also linked into spiritual technology in the sense that how we focus our mind, the focus we have in terms of how we are using our body energy. If we think about body, mind, spirit, it's all a unit. And this Perseus-Capulus energy is very much the mind in body, mind, spirit concept. And it's also part of this evolution of spiritual technology for us to get familiar with what is it that I'm focusing on? Is it serving me? Is it serving my healing or is it not? So it's also linked into self empowerment because how we are focusing our mind, if it's in harmony with our body, for example, it is serving us. Capulus here has a strong message over 4 months to highlight our natural ability to pull energy, pull spirit through us as a vessel of healing. And this is a very important time where holistic healing, as part of the future human perspective, and also this energy transmission that we are fully capable of doing by focusing our mind. So, yes, this kite with Uranus conjunct Perseus-Capulus at the top there is a significant guidance for us. Uranus in Taurus is showing us the way here to anchor this energy, and that is through our body, using our mind focus to allow energy transmission through our body vessel, to allow universal energy through the body as a vessel. So, this is a message from the cosmos and Uranus, the cosmic and galactic awakener, that can be a game changer for us in years to come. And it's clearly part of the future human signature. So at this full moon, we have an intimate interplay between the full moon conjunct Procyon in sextile with Uranus conjunct Capulus, but also a trine to North Node and Pegasus-Scheat and Neptune, but also that opposition between Pluto and the Sun here. So this full moon is a important message about what's to come, the future human energetic signature and the components of that. Body wisdom, being the vessel, using our mind's focus to draw universal energy through our vessel, the body, and also the yearn for liberation from anything that is holding us back, that is not serving our harmony and balance to live and have the perspective of a multidimensional being in harmony with the cosmos, the universe, and Earth. We are bringing this evolutionary step into a elevation of consciousness, into a more aware state. We are bringing this evolutionary step into a multi-dimensional view of living instead of a sometimes single-focused way of living. The very important evolutionary influences via Bootes-Arcturus at 24 degrees of Libra and also Beta-Centauri Hadar at 24 degrees of Scorpio, and also Hygeia conjunct Eris at 24 degrees of Aries. Yes, this is a super highlight on the degree 24 in the zodiac wheel, but it also speaks to the harmony and balance that we are invited to seek and to step into and allow as we step now into 2025 and the critical years 2026, 27, and beyond. So if you have personal planets or angles in the degree 24, but also 23 and perhaps 25, all the way up to 27, you are likely invited to take a deeper look at this future human energy signature, and particularly how you are being part of bringing new spiritual technology, apply it differently than ever before. In our evolution now, we are going to make evolutionary steps. And 2025 definitely is part of this process. Each one of us are so wise, and we're individually connecting with ancient wisdom that is linked to our soul journey. But at a collective level, we're also in a wave of awakening to support us connect back with ancient wisdom. For example, how the ancients were living in connection with cosmos and earth and all the elements so naturally in the past. But the story is not finished with connecting back with ancient wisdom. There is an add-on, there is an evolution that comes from bringing this forward to next level. And that's where the future human comes in. Are you curious about your own galactic alignments? Download my Galactic Alignments reference guide. There's a link in the description box below. So I have a couple of questions. Should you want to integrate this Cancer full moon some more? The first question is, how are you becoming the future human? So here it is about recognizing ways that you are connecting with your natural gifts, first of all, your ancient wisdom that is harbored within you and your body. So, how are you becoming the future human? The second question is, how can you ask your body for what it needs? And this is an intuitive exercise on asking your body what it needs and receive an answer back, because your body is always working towards wholeness. And the body will communicate with you what is out of balance. So, by listening to your body first, you'll know what it is that is in need of balance. How can you let your body and soul return to wholeness? The third question is, notice what you're focused on. Your mental focus creates your perspective. How can you shift to a loving perspective, both towards yourself and others and your environment? How can you include your community beyond yourself into that focus? So let's have an experience. I've created a meditation for you to experience this universal energy transmission that everyone is capable of. I will be guiding you through a visualization of how this universal energy transmission can be experienced. So let's go have an experience together. There's a link in the description box below for this offering. So, welcome to 2025. It's going to be an evolutionary year where we are walking a bridge into new earth. And 2025 is going to be a year of many shifts energetically. And I will be with you through the new moons and the full moons and who knows what else and here on YouTube. And my 2025 Galactic Astrology program, a multidimensional energy forecast, is still available and will be over the course of the year. We'll have a live Q&A on January 29th that you're welcome to join, should you join that program. And we will be walking through all these major energy shifts together over the course of this year. So this is a very exciting year to start integrating all your wisdom, what you've learned over the years and what you're discovering about yourself, and integrate it into your daily life. So thank you for being here. Visit me on ulrikasullivan.com, and what you'll find there are my offerings for readings, galactic astrology readings, but also traditional astrology readings, but also professional coaching should you want to integrate the insights that come out of a reading over time. Thank you for listening to New Light Living Podcast. I'm Ulrika Sullivan. I'm an intuitive spiritual life coach and a galactic astrologer. And I can't wait to see you at the end of the month for the new moon in Aquarius. Bye.